Today on Live Daily News, the new Skechers store is open in San Angelo. Canine distemper shut down the intake at the animal shelter today, and Ranger Aviation celebrated 50 years. Also, we could see the northern lights in San Angelo tonight. We'll tell you all about it. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, the weekend is incoming and you can catch all of the collegiate and pro NFL football action at the ArcLight Bar and Grill located inside the Clarion Hotel at 441 Rio Concho Drive. The ArcLight has the largest video wall in West Texas, in addition to 20 other flat screen TVs to keep up with your alma mater, your favorite team, or keep up with all the games for your fantasy team. The ArcLight Bar and Grill also has daily drink specials and specials from the kitchen. The ArcLight Bar and Grill, located inside the Clarion Hotel at 441 Rio Concho Drive in San Angelo. Up first, the San Angelo Animal Shelter has shut down intake of new animals until October 4th due to a positive case of canine distemper. The disease was brought in and it is possible that several dogs have caught it. Distemper is a highly contagious viral disease that affects the gastrointestinal, respiratory, and nervous system and is often fatal, but it can be preventable with proper vaccinations. Dogs already inoculated will remain up for adoption. Additionally, Concho Valley Paws will reach out to recent adopters to verify the health of their pets. The San Angelo Animal Shelter also encourages everyone to make sure their pets are up to date on all their shots and to contact your vet if you notice any strange behavior. Skechers on Sunset Drive is now open as signs on the door indicated. Skechers took over the old Pier 1 Imports Pottery City location next door to the Sunset Mall. The location was vacant until the shoe store took over with a $400,000 permit in January and have since renovated the store. Skechers operates 54 locations in Texas with nearby stores in Abilene, Midland, and Odessa. Have you downloaded the San Angelo Live mobile app yet? It's free and it's the best app in the business. Download it off the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to stay up to date with news in San Angelo. And Ranger Aviation celebrated its 50th anniversary with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and a special sheep unveiling Thursday morning at its main office. San Angelo Mayor Brendan Gunter praised John Fields, President and CEO of Ranger Aviation, for his pivotal role in the airport's success. As part of the celebration, a sheep statue painted to resemble Fields' Mooney aircraft was unveiled. John Richardson, a close friend of Fields, awarded him with the prestigious FFA Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award. The award was given to pilots who have flown for 50 continuous years without incidents or rule violations, an honor only about 400 pilots have received annually. Let's take a look.
Hey, I'm Joe Hyde with San Angelo Live. I'm with John David Fields. He is the owner, proprietor, founder of Ranger Aviation here at Mathis Field in San Angelo. And this is you own the storied old fixed base operator, FBO. So you refuel all the military airplanes, all the business aviation airplanes, and general aviation. And airlines too, yeah. Huh? But how did you get started with this? I mean, I understand there's back in the, 70s, Mooney came to you?
Well, I started learning how to fly in '64, when I was in high school, and in '76, after I got out of college, I decided I wanted to go in the aviation business, and so I came up here in '76 and put a trailer out here and started selling airplanes.
Okay.
And
so you're kind of like a broker for used airplanes?
Yeah, a real.
Kind of like a used car lot?
Yeah.
Used airplane lot.
Yeah, with a used trailer.
Uh-huh.
So,
And the runway was smaller, and the airport was less busy.
Yeah, the airport was, there was nothing past here to speak of other than general telephone, and there were two other FBOs though when we started, and by just length of living, we outlived both of them.
And fixed base operators on these airports sometimes becomes very nasty, competitive business.
Yes.
Especially when you don't have that many airplanes.
Well, that's the thing, Angelo is not a high volume transit airport.
Right.
So
that's because your gas is too high.
Is that what it is? I put the self-service in for you too, guys.
I know you did. He's got self-service gas here. If you're a general aviation pilot, come up here and get self-service gas.
Yeah. We got tired of listening to Right.
Well, I think it was a smart thing. But anyway, how did you get? So you have a T-45 taking off, but you're refueled here.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in new air? You were selling new airplanes too.
Yeah, and you know, I was selling used airplanes, and that was I was buying trade-ins from Mitsubishi. The factory was here.
So those are the MU2s, which are these
Right.
like. There's one right here. Can you pan? I don't know if you can pan, Lucas. Show them what an MU2 looks like. This is a twin engine
Turboprop.
turboprop.
It's a jet engine with propeller on it, basically.
So
And they were building them here, and John Richardson, a friend of mine, was their top salesman, and so he and I would travel all over the country in Mitsubishi's airplane with Mitsubishi's credit card, and I'd buy the trade-ins when he sold them their airplanes, and so that's kind of how I got started. And then
So you would fly out in one airplane, you'll come back in two.
right.
Okay.
And half the time we never had flown the airplane, we flew back in. You know, between he and I, we had some pretty exciting experiences. You know,
Right.
learning and reading the manual as we flew back. You know, so, but then in '79, I decided I wanted to be a new Mooney dealer.
And Mooney is an airplane they make in Kerrville, or used to make in
Used to
Kerrville.
make in Kerrville.
It's
And
this one right here.
This is Mooney, and
I
that's
see
what
that.
Joe's got. And so I started bugging them. Actually, a couple of years before, and finally in '79, they decided to let me be a dealer. And so we sold airplane Mooney's until the factory decided to go direct, and then so they canned all their dealers and started selling direct.
So back then, just going to get a little technical. Back then, they just come out with the J model, which is
Right.
which was a fast single engine,
Right.
Retractable gear airplane, which is pretty popular even to today.
Still, even today, it's still a real fast and economic.
Right. And you have a E model
E-model, yeah.
Right.
This is a 1964 model out there.
built before I was born.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Not before I was born.
So how did you get in the fuel business?
Well, after that, you know, obviously we were selling airplanes and everything, but we needed another source of income. So actually, signed up with Exxon to begin with, and then Pride Refining in Adelaide. They started selling signed up with them, and then Asheville, the company bought Pride Refining out, and so we were their very first. We were the very first Asheville.
And that's the
dealer.
big AV you see on the
Yes,
logo?
that's correct. Yeah,
Right.
and they're by far the most popular brand of fuel around the United States now.
All right, so fast forward, now your kids are taking over?
All right, yeah, my daughter and son-in-law have been here since 2000. After she got out of college, she decided she'd come to work for Dad, and Randy, my son-in-law, was running our line at that time, and so they met each other and got married, and so they're pretty well running the business now. They put all this on for us, and I just come out here and do what I want to do now.
One of the important things that's happened at Mathis back in, I guess, probably the 80s was the military started using this airfield for training.
That's great.
And so you have Randolph Air Force Base, which is in San Antonio, Laughlin Air Force Base. Maybe someone's taking off. Maybe some flyers out of Speaking of military aviation, that was a T-45 out of Corpus.
That's the sound of
Freedom.
jet fuel turning into money.
No, jet fuel turning. I thought it was freedom, but you say money.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've had the government contract for many years,
Yes.
and you've taken care of the military and not had any. The military has problems every once in a while with FBOs and stuff.
Right.
I was there, and they say, "Oh, you can't fly into this airfield now because," but you kept it on the up and up for what, 40 years?
It's been, golly, probably 30. I'd have to go back and look, but it's been a long time.
But this is a giant economic driver. Now, to explain how the military uses this airfield, first of all, it has good weather. Second of all, it has a lot of high instrument approaches that come into here. And back in the day, before GPS became so developed, this San Angelo VORTAC, which is a VOR TACAN, is a major navigational aid along jet routes and low routes and things like that. So this was kind of a central location. I'll just give you a testimony. When I was a T-38 IP at Laughlin, we'd take off, And 16 minutes later, I'm at Luby, which is a high fix for runway 3 for the ILS. We do one turn and holding, come in, do a low approach on runway 3 because it wasn't long enough for a 38 to land.
Yeah.
And then we circle back around and do a touch and go on either 1.8 or 3.6. And then we take off and go to Dias.
Yeah.
And then that was one sortie, and you were able to get, I don't know, 4 or 5 instrument activities when you're training your students. So it's this is a very good location for that because it's so centrally located. But back in the 90s, you extended San Angelo extended the runway to 8,000 feet. And when you did that, that allowed a lot of the bigger airplanes and the T-38s to come in here, and that probably expanded your business greatly.
Yes. It did. And in the day before they got the T6 trainers new, or not new now, but fairly new.
The T6 is that propeller airplane. It's a turboprop that replaced the T-37 dog whistle.
Right. And we had the T-37. In the heyday, we would have, on Friday afternoon, we'd have 25 or 30 T-37s here on the ramp. You know, they were all going across country.
Yeah, and what you would do from the pilot training side, you would park here and stage, and you wait till 30 minutes after sunset and take off, and you get your night sortie on Friday night. Now you don't have to worry about it for Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know, so that was what they were doing.
Well, I never knew what the routine. Why?
You just hop into an airport that's close by and do it. One time I was coming here at night on a night sortie, and the dadgum tower closes at 9. And we couldn't figure out why they wouldn't talk to us. And finally we figured it out, and so I had to divert to San Antonio.
You couldn't land without the tower.
They won't let you land without a tower.
Oh, that's amazing. Because now the tower still closes at 9 o'clock, I believe, and the lights are controlled by radio control. If somebody wants to land after 9 o'clock, they can turn the lights on.
Excuse me.
I'm trying to think. Years ago, we had a 24-hour tower, but that didn't last.
Not enough traffic.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah. What do you think about all the traffic at Mathis now?
Well, it's going to help, I believe, with Angelo State starting their commercial program. They've got, I don't know, probably last time I counted 17 air trainers, and they're in the pattern constantly. And forever touch and go, if they do, that counts towards FAA money, money for the tower, and all that sort of thing. So with the increase in traffic, it's helped. We're possibly going to get a new tower at some point.
Or they need to repave the runways.
Oh yeah, there's always.
All right, so I asked the FAA controller this, is Jeff.
Yeah.
I asked him this. I said, so are you a pro runway 9 guy, or do you want to close down the runway?
Yeah.
And he said he's pro runway 9. He said he's seen it used many times in drastic crosswinds on the main runway.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'd like to see him keep it.
Yeah, I would too. But it's a matter of financing. The FAA won't participate. Normally on these projects, resurfacing the runway, the FAA will pay 90%. The city has to come up with 10%. On 927, they just said no, we're not going to support it. So
really? So the FAA is the bad guy.
Yeah, that's correct.
I see. Well, John David Fields, owner, proprietor, and founder of Ranger Aviation, big part of aviation history out here in Mathis Field and San Angelo. Thank you for talking to us.
Well, thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
When we come back, when we come back in our interview segment, Kevin Long will speak with Joe Hyde about being named the 2023 Air Traffic Controller of the Year. In the weather, the lows drop heading into next week, but right now it's 94 degrees outside with a high of 96 and a low tonight around 60. Tomorrow it will be sunny with a high of 95, and then when the Friday lights come on, the temperature drops down to around 64. Over the weekend, highs will be around 95 on Saturday and Sunday, and lows will be 65 on Saturday, and it drops down to 61 on Sunday. Then a cold front blows through with highs on Monday and Tuesday in the mid to low 80s, and lows will be in the 50s. Also, a strong geomagnetic storm is expected to hit this evening with a potential to cause disruptions and bring rare aurora sightings to west central Texas. The storm is classified right now as a G3, but it could escalate to a G4 or G5 and bring some of the northern lights to San Angelo. When we come back, we have a supersized interview segment with Charlotte Anderson with Keep San Angelo Beautiful, Jessica with ASU, and Ranger Aviation. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
$59,999 for a new Ford Expedition XLT. Get a full-size 3-row seating SUV for the family that needs a lot of room. Equipped with a moonroof, second-row captain seats along with many more features make it the absolute perfect SUV. You can only get deals like this at Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com, or use this QR code. Yep, the one on my shirt.
Hello, it's Joe Hyde, San Angelo Live, out here at beautiful Mathis Field in front of Ranger Aviation. I'm with Kevin Long, who just was awarded a big plaque with a lot of words on it for being an outstanding air traffic controller. Kevin, you work in the control tower at Mathis. You have for many years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. How do you get up those stairs every day? Do you like throw that into your daily exercise?
You count the steps.
You count the steps.
Count the steps.
And if you're not familiar, I don't think they have an elevator or anything.
No.
You got to walk up a lot of flights.
Six flights.
6 flights of stairs to get up to the top of the control tower. Well, you've watched Mathis Field grow a little bit.
I have.
And, you know, back in the day, I'm a pilot. I used to be able to come in, it's empty, and I just say, I like to do a straight in to runway 27.
Yeah.
Y'all don't let me do that anymore.
Well, it depends on what's going on, and something's usually going on.
Yeah, there's always something going
Yeah.
on. You have a very busy traffic pattern from Angelo State University's flying training program, and then you also have a lot of birds come up from Laughlin Air Force Base.
Right.
So, have you ever had any close calls?
Well, not in the tower.
Not in the tower?
There's no such thing as a close call in the tower. There is, but you know, you just gotta watch and make sure that everybody's doing what you anticipate that they're doing and that they're supposed to do. And if somebody does something that is gonna mess up your pattern, you correct them.
Right.
And you gotta watch. And there have been planes turning into each other, and you catch it and say, hey, don't turn to the right or whatever, and get them away from each other.
So what are your thoughts on the controversy? The only controversy at the airport I know of right now is, should we close runway 927?
It should stay open.
It should stay open.
There are times in the spring that we have winds 30 knots out of the east, and they need that runway.
Right. So if you're not familiar, we have 3 runways here at Mathis. We have runway 3, runway 36, and runway 9. And runway 9 and 27, because you know they name it after the direction you're going, is kind of like the black sheep of the runways.
Yeah.
And they've decided not to repave it or anything. So that puts a lot of us little bitty airplanes, the little single engine airplanes, which are probably pretty vulnerable. Actually, small twins are pretty vulnerable to crosswinds. And so I think for safety, we ought to keep the thing open. That's what I've been advocating for. But what did you get the award for?
Well, RVA has 103 towers across the country.
Okay.
And each facility can put in for a controller of the year, and your manager writes up the nomination and all that. I had several things on my nomination. Working with the Royal Canadian Air Force was one of them.
Right. If you're not familiar with that, those are the blue T6 looking airplanes. They're actually called Harbors. They come out here about twice a year from Moose Jaw.
Moose Jaw.
From Moose Jaw, Canada, because it's too cold to fly up in Canada. So they come down here and do their flight training, which is good for us because they buy lots of fuel.
Yeah.
So,
and hotel, restaurants.
Yes, everything.
It's good for the economy.
Yeah.
And plus, they get all their training. They get more training done here in 2 weeks than they can a month up in Canada.
Right.
So,
and that's because of the weather.
It's because of the weather.
And the fact that runway 9 is still open.
They won't use that. But that, and we had some trainees that we had taken through the program and got them checked out. And,
so trainees for air traffic control?
Right, in the tower.
Okay.
And communicating with the instructor pilots at ASU. That's pretty big. We'd like to keep a relationship with everybody that flies around here, period. But with them, it's a little different because they're training students.
And they fly a lot.
Right. So whenever they fly a lot like that, it's they have to be on top of their game with their students because we can't have mistakes.
Right.
Because there's too many airplanes.
And so this company is called
RVA, Robinson Aviation.
Robinson Aviation, and what they are, they're a subcontractor or a contractor to the FAA to provide air traffic controllers for these airports.
Right. And I retired from the FAA after 21 years, and then came here and got a job here.
And this is all ex-military, ex-FAA guys who are working for them. Yeah.
I'm the only ex-FAA. There's 5 of us. Everybody else is just ex-military. I'm ex-military and FA. So.
Gotcha. Where were you stationed in the military?
I was at Clark, Vance, Seymour Johnson, Osan, and Wichita or Shepherd.
So Vance and Shepherd are probably pretty busy airports.
Yeah.
How does Mathis compare?
Well, I worked radar.
Oh, did you?
At those facilities, yeah.
And when he says when he works radar, that's where you get passed off to right after you take off.
Right.
Radar.
Right.
So, but it was pretty busy.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep people in their areas.
Yeah, I think normally those training bases with at the time I had T-37s and T-38s. They did 400 sorties a day. Yeah. Which is a lot.
How many sorties a day do you think we're doing here at Mathis?
You look at the schedule just for ASU. I would say maybe 40 or 50.
That's pretty significant for a small country airport.
Yeah.
40 just for ASU,
yeah.
And then you have probably another 24 that are business aviation or general
absolutely.
aviation.
Yeah. You can look at out here.
Yeah.
We got Citations, King Airs, Beach 1900 there,
and a T-45.
Yeah.
You know, a T-45 flies just like a Toyota.
Does it?
It does. It's real tight.
Okay.
Anyway. Kevin,
never flown one.
You never flown one?
No.
You ought to go ask him, see if you get a ride.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is Kevin Long. He's the air traffic controller of the year here at Mathis Field. I'm Joe Hyde. Now back to the studio.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the giants and who will never, ever flinch.
Welcome back, everybody. James Bellini here with Charlotte Anderson with Keep San Angelo Beautiful. Miss Anderson, how's we doing? How are we doing?
Fantastic. It's great to be with you again.
All right. We had a big event, the tire event. The big
Absolutely.
Tire event.
The tire event was just fantastic. We had over 63 volunteers. The weather was absolutely perfect. We filled up 3 trucks, over 3,100 tires, which brings our year to date, or I should say 5 years to date, amount up to 29,100 tires that have been recycled in Burnett, Texas. Again, we had a great showing. We did about 55 cars. We did have a limit this event of 25 tires per vehicle, which was fantastic. It didn't burden our volunteers. I think they'll all come back again. And I also think September is a great month for a tire event. It's not too hot. We had good fellow participants. We had participants from all over the community. Our ASU students were in. So we had, again, probably about 27 different organizations that were a part of that. So did some really, really good work on that. Very pleased with that.
I know. The weather's been nice. We had a little break in here.
Yes,
recently,
yes. It's just been wonderful. September was just perfect for a tire event.
Well, I mean, coming up this weekend, you got the big fall sweep coming up.
Yes, we do. Our fall sweep is this Saturday. So if you haven't registered your team, you can show up Saturday morning at the Girl Scout house about 8:30, and we will have supplies for you. We can give you trash bags, gloves, grabbers, everything you need to go have a successful cleanup. You can clean on the river where we are, or we can find another location for you. Just reach out to us, 486-3771. We do have the event posted on Facebook, so you can get some contact information there as well. And just let us know where you want to clean. And if we have t-shirts left, we will provide them. But we have probably close to 500 students and businesses participating, about 45 different organizations all over the city of San Angelo. And I'm really proud, want to shout out to Parks and Rec and the city as well, and even our community business partners for doing their part to make a difference. The trash and the litter this year is so less than it's ever been. I think everybody is really doing a great job of making sure that the trash goes in the can and that it's not spread out around the loop.
Right.
But our typical hot spots are really clean this year, and we're just really proud of that. So we'll keep seeking out the places that need to be addressed and make sure that we have a great event. We've got about 500 people that'll be ready to do that on Saturday morning. We'll be cleaning for just a couple of hours. We'll come back and recap back. We have prizes for the most interesting item, the tough team, and the best spirit. And then we will take pictures with our trash and have refreshments. So it's going to be a great day Saturday. I think the weather is just going to be perfect.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be nice and cool this weekend.
Yes.
Coming
And
up, so.
I didn't tell you, but we just came back from Austin from the State of Texas Alliance for Recycling TILA Awards, and that's Texas Environmental Leadership Awards. And we got the most beautiful award ever. So I'm really, really proud of this. So we were recognized for our excellence in environmental education this year.
All right.
And we just are so proud. And in addition to us, Ella Saves the Oceans also received an award for extraordinary recycling event. Harry Thomas was acknowledged for an all-star elected official, and a team that we mentor, Keep Little Elm Beautiful, they also won a recycling award. So our region or our teams took home 4 awards that evening. Wow. And it was just spectacular. At the Chateau Bellevue in Austin, which is the Austin Women's Club, and had just a beautiful evening and had a Texas theme. So we took one of our teachers with us, Miss Fluid, who helped us write that book and get that book published. And I think she had a fabulous time. Now, we both agreed that what happens in Austin stays in Austin. So no juicy details, but I can tell you we had a blast. It was just the best time ever.
Well, no, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yes.
And it's as easy as just, I mean, you talked about the hot spots being cleaner. It's as easy as just holding on to your trash till you get home or putting it in a Walmart bag or something and then throwing it away at home.
Absolutely. And we have trash bags. You can stop by our office and I'll give you a trash bag for your car to keep your car a little bit more clean so you don't have as much that can float around. I keep a trash bag in my car, and you can stop at a convenience store every time if you get gas and just empty your trash bag. I mean, it's an easy way to keep your car keep your trash in your car until you can get to a place to dispose of it properly.
And there are trash cans everywhere.
Yes, and we're really making an impact on the community, and it helps for our businesses, for economic development, for quality of life, for having the best city to live, work, and play. It just really makes a difference. So we're real proud of the work that the community's doing. And that the volunteers are doing as well. So looking forward to that. And just a couple of save the dates before we go.
All right.
We'll be distributing trees this year. Again, we did receive our grant from the Apache Corporation, and that will be on October 31st.
Halloween.
Yes, that's a Thursday. And I know it'll go real quick. We'll start in the morning, probably around 8:30 or 9, but I'll have more information. Just save the date, October 31st for trees. And then we also have the America Recycles Day. So we'll have a recycling contest, and it's going to be an art contest this year for our students. So we'll have elementary, middle school, and high school. We'll have first place for each category and a second place prize. And they can get information from any of our libraries. You can pick up an entry form, and then you can drop off your project by November the 14th, and judging will be on the 15th. So November 4th to the 14th is drop off on a 12 by 12 page. And as long as your materials are 75% recycled or reused materials, you'll be in for a prize.
All right. Well, good deal. Is there anything else we need to talk? We need to talk about Halloween real fast, though.
Let's talk about Halloween, since we're going to have a tree event on Halloween. We're going to hand out some tips.
Yes. Take one of these, go down to Keep San and get one of these little bags, and that way when you're eating candy out on the road, you don't just throw the wrapper on the ground.
That's right.
Go ahead and do your part to keep San Angelo beautiful, and throw your wrappers away. Throw them in the trash cans. There's trash cans everywhere.
Right.
And you're certainly going to pass by a trash can eventually. So.
For sure. And as you're preparing for Halloween, you want to think about making a homemade costume. You don't have to go buy a costume. You can make something and just let your creative juices flow, because it's a great opportunity to come up with something very unique and fun.
Right.
And when you're doing decorations, again, so my neighbor has a pine tree, and I don't really care for that so much, although I am using his pine needles for mulch. Thank you, Bob. But pine cones. You can get a lot of things just from your yard.
Right.
You can make your own scarecrow. There are lots of things you can do. You can, if you have a plaid shirt and just some old jeans, lots of ways to decorate and have a good time during the holidays. But we definitely want to be extra careful with the trash, with the wrappers, with the candy. I know when we're out, we all want to have a bite of candy. Put your wrappers in your Halloween bucket or put them in your pocket.
Well, your kid's gonna go home and dump it out loud anyway. So
That's right.
He's gonna separate it all. So go ahead and pick the wrappers out.
Absolutely. So just be safe this Halloween. Light up your costumes. Make sure you're in neighborhoods that have their lights on, and just want to make sure that our communities have a really, really good time. And again, think about ways that you can reduce your consumption, reuse and recycle, and make it just a great, great holiday.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Anderson, for coming in today.
It's good to see you. We'll see you next time.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Back to you guys.
$59,999 for a new Ford Expedition XLT. Get a full-size 3-row seating SUV for the family that needs a lot of room. Equipped with a moonroof, second-row captain seats, along with many more features, make it the absolute perfect SUV. You can only get deals like this at Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com, or use this QR code. Yep, the one on my shirt.
Welcome back here. James Bellini here with Jessica from ASU. How are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
We have a big weekend at ASU.
We do.
We got all different kinds of sporting events, and we also have Family
Weekend. Yes. Right. So at Angelo State, we're hosting Family Weekend, and this is really meant for our current students to be able to invite their families to campus and experience campus life, hang out with them, get to be part of the Ram Fam for the weekend. And so there's a little bit of everything happening this weekend.
What do we got going on besides the volleyball game, soccer game, football game?
Yeah, so there's lots
Jam.
of sporting events, right? So we've got all of our Rams and Bells are back at home. So volleyball, soccer, football. We've got the Ram Jam happening with live music. Friday night and Saturday night, there's also a theater show that's happening. Saturday morning, our president and his wife are hosting a breakfast for our family members. And then just an opportunity for students to show off their home to their parents.
Well, maybe the parents have never been here. Maybe they're new to,
Yeah.
ASU. All right, we'll go to ASU, and they've never, maybe this is the first time students have ever been in San Angelo. So.
Yeah, it's a good midpoint of the semester where the students have been here for almost 8 weeks, and so it's a good time to have the parents come back and visit them, get them through the next couple weeks of midterms, and then they'll be ready to go home for Thanksgiving and winter break. And so it's that good point to have families come back, see how their kids are doing, check in with them, and hang out with the rest of the Ram Fam.
Well, they can go to the games and go to the football game, big football game this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, all of the sporting events this weekend. We're excited that our Bells are back. The volleyball has not been home in a while, and so we're excited about them. And soccer's having an amazing season, and it's a big football game. So we're hoping that we remain undefeated in conference play this weekend.
Right.
But yeah, so it's a big athletic weekend for people to show up and be loud and proud. And Ram Jam's supposed to be great. There's live music happening out there and free food. And it's going to be awesome weather.
Well, it's not just sporting events, though. The museum is open.
Yes, so the museum will be open, and the exhibits in there are really, really cool right now. And there's always the dinosaurs, of course, for folks to stop in and see.
Yeah, when you walk in, you got the big dinosaurs
staring
at you.
Yes, the T-Rex right there. So the museum's a great space, and I think it's unique that we have that, right? Not every university has a museum with a T-Rex on their campus.
Right.
And there's different
You're not
activities.
Trying to flex there a little bit, right?
Well, it's something we got to show off.
Right.
But the museum has things for kids too, and so when we say family weekend, it's not just mom and dad. We want the siblings and aunts and uncles and grandparents, right? Like everybody's welcome.
Right.
And so everything's family friendly. The museum has things for little kids to do. Ram Jam is open to everybody, and that is really a family-friendly event too. So we want the whole family to show up loud and proud with us this weekend.
And y'all have food and everything as well, right?
Yep. So there's options for a couple different meals this weekend, and then there's always good food out at Ram Jam.
All right, so put the ramen away.
Yes, eat the good food this weekend.
All right.
So local businesses, expect our families to be around. They will be there, and so we've told them all the good local spots to hit up. And so we are just excited to have our family, the extended family, right, of our Ram fam here this weekend with us.
All right, now remind me, when's this all kick off?
So it starts Friday evening and goes through the weekend, and so there's lots going on. If you go to angelo.edu and you search Family Weekend, it is all there. It's also on our social media.
That was going to be my next question. Where do they find this stuff?
Yes, on our website, on our social media.
Can they call can they call up to ASU? And
they can.
They call?
So they can call the Office of Student Transitions.
Okay.
And so our number is 325-942-2061, and we can help them and get everybody situated.
All right. Well, did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it. I think just go Rams, right?
Go Rams.
Go Rams.
You're right. Busy weekend.
Yes.
And hopefully everybody comes out of it. Hopefully the Rams come out of it winners, right?
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, Jessica, thank you for coming in today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Back to you guys.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thanks for watching the Live Daily News Show, the only locally owned news show in the Concho Valley. Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms, and download the San Angelo Live mobile app to stay up to date with news from in and around the Concho Valley. Thanks again, and Cover One returns tomorrow.